Hi, how are you, 7th and 8th grade boys? This is Rabbi Cohen again, reading the Gemara from the bottom of Daf Chav Vav Amud Bet 26b, 3 lines from the bottom. This is for the test on Friday. There are 5 parts to the Gemara, as we've said many times. Part 1 begins with the following question. Ibai lahu, we ask them a question. Lahu means to them, Ibai is asked. Ad ve'ad bichlal. Does ad mean including ad? The word bichlal means including. O dilma, or maybe ad velo ad bichlal, or maybe ad velo ad bichlal, and it does not include. Bichlal means including again. It does not include ad. And our question really is regarding Rav Yehuda. When Rav Yehuda said the word ad the 4th hour, ad dalet shows, or ad zayin shows regarding musaf, or ad plag hamincha regarding mincha, what was he referring to? Including the 4th hour of shacharis in the morning, or only up until the 4th hour, but not including it? Only 3 hours by shacharis. By musaf, for example, did he mean including all 7 hours? That's how much you have to daven musaf, which would be 1 p.m., or not including the 7th hour, which would only be 6 hours. That's our question. That's part 1 of the Gemara. Part 2 is our first proof. Tashma, come and listen. Here's a proof. Rav Yehuda says ad plag hamincha. Rav Yehuda says until plag hamincha. That's when you can daven. At this point, the Gemara is assuming that we're referring to the second half of mincha ketana, which again, mincha ketana is when they normally brought the korban, 3:30 to 6. The second half of that time, 3:30 to 6, is 4:45 to 6. So the Gemara is assuming that when he said plag hamincha, he was referring to that second half, 4:45 to 6. So the Gemara says, I amris bishlama, if you say it's understandable, bishlama, like the word shalom, it's peaceful, it makes sense. Ad velo ad bichlal. It must be that ad does not include the ad. Why? Hainu deika, hainu, there is deika, a difference, there is a difference, bein Rav Yehuda l'Rabbanan. If you say that ad is not including plag hamincha, and again we're referring to the second half, that means he's going until plag hamincha, but not including it. He's going until 4:45, but he's not including that second half of 4:45 to 6. He's going until it, but not including it. So he says 4:45. The rabbis say you can pray mincha till 6. They argue. Great. I love to see an argument. I love a good fight. Ella, but I amris, if you say ad ve'ad bichlal, if you say ad includes ad and he's including the whole plag hamincha, that would be very bad. Why? Rav Yehuda hainu Rabbanan. Rav Yehuda is the same as the Rabbanan. Rabbanan say you pray mincha until 6 p.m. sunset, and if he says I'm including the ad, I'm including the whole plag hamincha, again the second half from 4:45 to 6. If he's including it, he's saying the same thing as them. They're both saying till 6. That can't be. They were arguing in our Mishnah earlier on 26a, Chav Vav Amud Aleph. So that's our proof that ad must mean not including. That's step 2 of the Gemara. Now step 3, we're going to prove the opposite, that ad has to mean including now. We just proved it means not including. It has to be, otherwise you can't argue with the Rabbanan. Now we're going to prove the opposite. Ella mai, Ella rather, mai what? What are you going to say? Rather what? What are you going to say? Ad velo ad bichlal? You want to conclude that ad means not including? That makes no sense. Line 2 on 27a, that's where I'm reading now. Chav Zayin Amud Aleph. Ema Seifa, let us see or let us say the Seifa, the end of the Mishnah. What does the end of the Mishnah talk about? Musaf. So let's look at that point. Shel Musafin Kol Hayom. Rabbanan say you can pray Musaf all day. Rav Yehuda Omer ad Sheva Shos. Rav Yehuda says only till the 7th hour. Vitanya, and we learned in a brisa. Hayu lefanav shtei tefilot. He had in front of him 2 prayers. He woke up late one day. He's got 2 prayers in front of him. Achat shel Musaf, or line 4, 27a. One of Musaf, Achat shel Mincha, and one of Mincha. Which comes first? Which one's more important? Musaf or Mincha? Says the Gemara, line 5, 27a. Mitpalel shel Mincha v'achgach shel Musaf. Mincha comes first, before Musaf. Why? Shezo tadira. This one is more common. Vizu eina tadira, and this one is less common. The first shita, the Tanakama says, you go by which one's more common. You go by Mincha, because Mincha comes more often. Every day we say Mincha. Musaf is only once in a while. Rosh Chodesh, Shabbos. Rav Yehuda all of a sudden comes in and says, no, Mitpal shel Musaf. First comes Musaf, v'achkach shel Mincha. Then comes Mincha. Why? Why would you say that? Mincha's more common, Rav Yehuda. Shezu overes. Because Musaf is passing. It's almost over. It ends after 7 hours. Vizu eina overes. And Mincha does not pass. You have much more time to say Mincha. You have till Plag HaMincha, which we know is until 4:45. I amris bishlama. It's understandable ad ve'ad bichlal if you say ad includes ad. That makes sense. Why? Hainu de mashkachas lehu. That's how hainu de mashkachas means we find. Lehu, we find for them. Shtei tfilos, 2 prayers. Behade hadadi. Hade hadadi means together. The only way that mincha and musaf can ever overlap is if he says ad ve'ad bichlal. Ad includes ad. Why? Because we said earlier that mincha, the earliest time you can pray is 12:30. If musaf only goes till 12, which would be ad velo ad bichlal, when will they overlap? Ever overlap? Musaf ends at 12. Mincha starts at 12:30. They can't overlap. It must be, the Gemara says here, the only way that they're bahadei adadi, they can be together, they can overlap, is if musaf goes till 1. Mincha starts 12:30. You got half an hour of overlap time where you can say musaf and mincha. The only way you say that is if you say ad ba'ad b'chlal. This is step 3 of the Gemara. Hainu de mashkachasu, it's found shtei tfilos bahadei adadi together. Ella, but i amris, if you say ad velo ad b'chlal, if you say ad does not include ad, and it only goes till 12 regarding musaf, heichi, how mashkachaslu will you find shtei tfilos bahadei adadi? How could you find these 2 prayers together? Kevan de atiyala shel mincha. Once mincha comes, which is 12:30, asya means comes. Azla goes away. Remember we had azal once? Azlala, it goes away. Shel musafin. Musaf goes away. Once mincha comes at 12:30, musaf goes away at 12. That makes no sense if you say ad velo ad bichlal. Ella, mai. So the Gemara says, okay, I'm stuck. Rather, what should I say? Ad ve'ad bichlal? Should I go back to say ad ve'ad bichlal? That ad includes the whole, including, which means you go till 1 o'clock, but that doesn't make sense because we said earlier that then there's no difference between them and the Rabbanan. Ella mai, ad ve'ad bichlal, kasha reisha. The reisha, rosh, like from the word the beginning of the Mishnah makes no sense. The one that we talked about regarding plag ha-mincha. Rabbanan and Rav Yehuda are saying the exact same thing. Ma'ika bein Rav Yehuda la Rabbanan. What's the difference between Rav Yehuda and Rabbanan? So the Gemara now, step 4. Here's the answer. Step 4. Mi savris. Did you really hold the high plag mincha, plag achrona kamar? Did you think that the half of mincha we were referring to was the achrona, the second half? You made a mistake. Plag rishona kamar. When he talked about plag ha-mincha, he meant the first plag. The first half. 3:30 to 6 has 2 halves. 3:30 to 4:45, 4:45 to 6. He was referring to the first half, and he was including that first half, 3:30 to 4:45. So at the end of the day, the Gemara always has Rav Yehuda saying, including. V'hachi ka'amar. And like this he was saying, it's about line 15, first word is ka'amar. Like this he was saying, Eimat nafik plag rishona. When does the first plag, nafik means go out, ve'ayil, and comes in plag achrona, the second plag. When does the first plag end? I'm including the whole first plag. And the second plag, the second half, begin. Mechinafki yud aleph shot, when 11 hours, chaser avia, minus a quarter, which is 10 hours and 45 minutes. When that passes, which is 4:45. If you add 10 hours and 45 minutes from 6 a.m., you get to 4:45 p.m. Anyways, those are the first 4 steps of the Gemara. It's a little confusing, but the final point is, Rav Yehuda holds ad means including. Shacharis goes all the way till 10. Musaf goes all the way to 1. Plag ha-mincha goes all the way to 4:45, as we've always known, but that's because he's including the first plag. And that's the Gemara's conclusion. Step 5 is just a testimony of Rav Yehuda ben Bava, which proves that he saw this Korban Tamid actually being brought in the morning between 9 and 10 a.m., which concludes for us that it's definitely including, and he's going all the way to 10, all 4 hours, including the 4th hour regarding Rav Yehuda. Let's see this last Gemara. Inside, Amar Rav Nachman. Rav Nachman says, first word line is Rav Nachman. Af, also, anan, we, nami. Af actually means even. Af, even, anan, we, nami, also. Tanina, we learned in a Mishnah. Rav Yehuda ben Bava Hayed, Rav Yehuda ben Bava testified, Chamisha Dvarim, 5 things. Number 1, Shememanen et ktana. We allow a ktana, a girl under 12, to refuse her husband if she was married off by her mother or her older brother before 12. Number 2, Shemisian et aisha al pi eid echad, that we allow a woman to get married. Misian is like nisuin, marriage. We allow a woman to get married al pi, on the mouth of eid echad, one witness. In extreme situations, like times of war or crisis, we allow a woman to get remarried even though you don't have 2 witnesses verifying the death of the husband. One is enough. Number 3, Al Tarnagol Sheniskal B'Yerushalayim. A chicken was stoned in Jerusalem. Al Shaharagas Nefesh, for killing a soul. We learned about that case. He testified that it's true. It's not just by oxes that get killed for killing humans. It even includes other animals. Number 4, Ve'al Yain Ben Arba'im Yom. Wine of 40 days. Shenit Nasech, it was poured. Al Gabim Mizbeach, on the altar. It has to be wine that gets you drunk, intoxicating wine. And Rav Yehuda ben Bava is testifying it was 40 days old wine that they used. Nothing short of that. And last but not least, the 5th proof. The Al Tamid Shel Shachar, the Korban Tamid of the morning. Shekarav Ba'arba Shos. Notice his phrase. He says, Shekarav was brought Arba Shos, in the 4th hour. He doesn't say ad, until the 4th hour, which would confuse us once again. He says Arba Shos, in the 4th hour. Shma Mina, we learn from here, ad ve'ad bichlal. Ad means including Shma Mina. And the last line of the Gemara just says, we hold like Rav Yehuda regarding Shacharis. Practical halacha. We hold like Rav Yehuda. We pray Shacharis only until the 4th hour if we want to get the full mitzvah. As the last line of the Gemara says, Amar Rav Kahana. Rav Kahana comes along and says, halacha ki Rav Yehuda. The halacha follows Rav Yehuda. Hoil, since Tnan, who was taught in a Mishnah, bebechirta. Bebechirta means of the testimonies. Kavaseh, according to him. Since it was testified according to him, that shows that we hold like Rav Yehuda like Rav Yehuda regarding Shacharis. You pray until the 4th hour, including the 4th hour. After that, you still pray Shacharis. If you miss it, you have till midday, but you don't get the full mitzvah, because we hold like Rav Yehuda. Good luck. Bye.